It's about that money. And when he was poisoned, he was 28 years of age. And he was in Samara, in Iraq. People who go there, they do ziyarah of him. Of course, when he died in 260, his son, Hujjat ibn Hassan, became Imam. And he was only 5 years of age. Again, father was 5 and became Imam, son. It is a beautiful legacy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah chooses somebody, believe me, you are a winner all the way. You don't need a jackpot, a lottery. You win with him, you have everything with you. You lose with him, you have nothing. Very simple. With Allah, you have nothing. Without Allah, you have everything. Very simple. With Allah, you cannot lose. Without Allah, you cannot win, whatever you define it as. So there are many manifestations. Each Imam has given something for all of us to follow in his footsteps. Very important. We remember Imam, why? Because they are role models. They are flagpoles. Every time you look at their life, his mother was from Africa, Salil. Some historians say her name was Salil. And she was a pious lady. Allah didn't pick an Arab or Sayyid or Quraishi or Hashimi or this, pick somebody from, just like Hajar. Allah looked at the whole universe and said, okay, all the earth, and said, I'm going to select a woman, and that woman will be a black woman, and she will be married to my friend, Ibrahim. When Allah chooses, you must find out. Do not make distinction, because we're not capable of understanding that distinction. He makes distinction, honor that. So the role of every mother, of course, say the Fatima Hazari is way above everybody. Each Imam's mother had a quality. They had to bear a child, a future Imam, a Masoom. Remember that. Allah is not going to put Masoom in the womb of a kafir or mushrik or whatever. That means selection process has to be beyond color, race, religion, language, all these things. And all Imams had shown that way, one by one by one by one by one. This Imam had given us many, many manifestations, whatever. Salat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If you look at the life of every Imam, they said whatever we have is from where coming from? Father, to father, to father, to father, to Hassan, to Hussein, to Hassan, to Ali, to Rasulullah. Yeah, that's a link. That's a golden link. No other religion has it, whether it's Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, or any one of those 4 schools. They do not have the link that we got it from our father and father and father. Direct link. This is Silsila. So Imam Askari alayhi salam, his noble character is very short. He was in turmoil. The Abbasids were just all around him. They couldn't move. They had their guards all around them, checking them day and night, day and night. We're very fortunate. I consider myself to be a followers of Itna Ashari Imams, because I studied each one of them. That's the way I became convinced. I looked at the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussain alayhi salam. The lesson learned from Karbala, I still am amazed. We don't talk about it here. What are the lessons learned by the women of Karbala, the mothers of Karbala? The Zainab, the sister. We don't talk about that. We just take it for 40 days in Muharram, and then the rest of the 10 and a half months we forget. No. Their life should be a beacon. They are beacons of light for us, all one of them. And this is one of them, the 11th one. The important part of it is that from him and a servant maid from Africa, not a princess from anybody, Saudi Arabia or Iran or Pakistan or Afghanistan. No, a slave woman, Sabil, joined them together and gave them a noble hujjah will remain forever. And that's the value of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam. I urge all of you, I urge myself, that to honor his name, get something from his life. One word will do it for you. Believe me, it'll open up seats. And that's why we need to focus and concentrate on the words of Quran and the words of Masumeen. The rest of folk, okay, they're good. But when Quran speaks, pay attention. When Masoom speaks, pay attention. And there is no shortage of books today, I'm telling you. Allama Bakr Qurashi, I think he may be dead, rahmatullah alayhi. He has written books on every Masumeen, the 14, very detailed, authentic. Life of Imam Ali has got 1,000 pages. Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, all authentic. He's quoting. Same thing with Imam Askari alayhi salam. He wrote a book on his life. So we are really fortunate today that we have access to everything. It is our fingertips. Take as much as you want. Don't be just surrender. To get to the point of learning is very difficult. When you get Arana al-Ashya kama hiya, how is a thing created, then you know the truth. Then you know the truth. Who splits the seed? Who cleans the dawn in the air? We're looking at all this and we just go about our business, marveling our cars and house and dresses and jewelries and shoes. I admire my shoes, my daughter bought them especially. Because they're very comfortable. But the whole universe is right there in burden. And Allah said in the Quran that you do figure on what? Nafs and ufaq. سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ. Right. Only two dimensions, outside and inside. That's what we need to do. And that's what we've been trying to discipline ourselves. When you come to this assembly of Islam, assembly of Ahlul Bayt, I love Ahlul Bayt. Why? Because they are the creme de la creme. Every quotation from them, every aspect of their life is a beacon of light. Every aspect. We need to be able to understand the value of the ones you have. I don't know the full value, but I like to get some value. Salawat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The second part of the presentation today is continuing from last week. The word hikmah is very vast. I can only scratch the surface. I went through the whole Quran, word by word, ayah by ayah, verse by verse. Then I went into dictionary, I went into this, I went into this. Last week what I presented was, it was 17 points that Quran identified. Okay? There is no argument. When Quran speaks, all Muslims should accept. No argument. There's Allah's kalam. So today what I'm doing is going one step back and trying to show you, in fact, what does the word wisdom means in general, in Christianity, in science, and in Islam. One word, hikmah. So inshallah, as soon as he's ready, we'll continue with that. Salawat ala Muhammad ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Brother, you said the author of this book about all the life of Imam
Allama Bakr Qurashi.
Qurashi.
He's from India, but studied in Iraq.
In Iraq?
40 years, yes.
Okay.
They call him Qurashi, but it's Qurashi, whatever.
Yeah. There is an English version?
Yes, all of them translated. Beautifully. I mean, there's no reason for me, for anyone to say something is not available. Accessibly available. Anything you want. Go to Al-Islam. You got hundreds of books on every topic.
Right.
Al-Islam is huge.
Okay, do you need help, Hassan?
Which one?
The intro. The first one.
This one?
Yes. This is important that I find for me, learning is to go to the base. Always go to the base. Or basically, always go to the base. And that base will give you a sort of an opening of a shoot coming out of the ground. Go on putting seeds in your heart. And they will sprout. They'll develop. Okay, they're almost there. As soon as he finishes. Pardon me?
It's not, this is not the internet.
Okay. Got it.
Should repeat it.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Brother, can you see? Brother,
Yes.
one minute.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do it here because I have to show this pointer. Please, if you have any question, brief one, I'll answer, detailed one later on. Pay very close, because this is really a piece of land you have in your heart. Hikmah. Treat that as a seed you're putting in your heart today. Someone who has wisdom will follow every rule in Islam. I don't do that. Should I? Yes. That's wisdom. Not knowing is okay, but not wanting to know is worse. If it's important, I must know it. I know the rules of Florida, driving, everything. Everything I know. But this is what he's saying, that of someone who follows the rule in Islam, learn it. And I don't mean to criticize anybody. We have a sort of adab, a manner in the masjid. And I remind myself, when you enter the masjid, don't say salam alaikum very loudly. You know why? Because one who's praying, he has to answer. He gets distracted. Suggestion is, keep quiet. Say under the, so that he cannot hear the person who is praying. Okay, it's very important. These are the etiquettes that we must learn. These are the rules. Okay, he will uphold the truth. The Prophet Islam said, Allah has not distributed amongst human beings better than wisdom. The sleeping of a wise person is better than awakening of the ignorant. And this is a very famous hadith. If you are intelligent, you sleep and you get reward. If you're ignorant, your sleep has no meaning, you're sleeping like everybody else. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, no wealth is better than wisdom and no poverty is worse than ignorance. We should check ourselves with this. For things I don't know, I'm ignorant. And I am in many ways, but I keep trying to make an effort. What else do I have to learn? What else do I have to learn about my salat, about my zakat, about my khums, about my tahara, about my all the other things? Amr bil ma'ruf, nahi munkar, tawalla, tabarra, tatayya. No poverty is worse than ignorance in all affairs. No support is better than consultation and exchange of thought and wisdom. Share with each other. If you learn something, say amana. Pass it on. The most valuable gift to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, humanity, will be presented in several sections. And this is a very vast subject. I just touched partially yesterday. I'm going back to the drawing board, starting from stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So bear with me. This is going back now. Introductory. Section 1, Introduction of Wisdom. A general understanding of wisdom. Section 2, Characteristic of wisdom in Islam. Do I have them? I don't even know them. What are the characteristics of a wise person? I don't know them. Does anybody know all of them? No. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you, bits and pieces. I know a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. But it's the key. It's the key to your outcome. Then, Section 2, Characteristic of Islam. Number 3, Quranic verses. I went through every ayah dealing with hikmah. Every ayah. It's beautiful. I have time, I'm retired, so I can sit every morning, just look at the Quran and say, okay, Kitab Allah, I'm here. Of course, I have my breakfast and my tea and everything else. Then I sit down in my comfort. Sayings of Rasulullah in Zahibay and the benefits of wisdom. Let's continue. It might take a little longer, please. Bear with it, it's a very important subject.
Sure.
Allah's creation, the wisdom. He says, this is the finest. And there is a quotation reported that when I love someone, I perfect his apple or her apple. I will perfect it. Allah, it's a gift. Oh yes, you have apple, you read and you write and you do, but there is an element that Allah puts you into. He says, when I love somebody, I perfect his or her apple. Introduction. Okay. If you go through just the scientists who are studying wisdom, nothing to do with religion, they're amazed. Non-Muslims are amazed, the scientists. The purpose of creation, definition given by the dictionary as well as those given by the scientists and researchers is presented here. Pay attention how the difference is very little but very deep. When you get the explanation from Islam, it's very deep. When you get it from an English dictionary or Christianity, it does not have the depth. It does not have the soul that Islam has. Okay. The Quran describes it as a special gift. Remember now, when you say you have wisdom, it has to have an organ. Which organ? Hand, legs, feet? No. Where? Up here? Yes. Upper. And you see this ayah, and we can go on talking about this ayah. It says, Allah said, I decide to whom I'm going to give wisdom. I decide. You can have wisdom all you want. You think you read tons and tons of books and whatever you read, you're a Hafiz al-Quran and so forth and so on. But that special gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was given to whom? Luqman. Allah chose Luqman. Luqman, I give you hikmah. Ibrahim was given hikmah. Nuh was given hikmah. Go to Quran, I'll talk about all of them. He grants wisdom to whomsoever he wills. He says, I have given you the capacity, you earn it. I've given you thinking. I've given you the brain, giving the heart, giving the life, giving everything. You can read, you can write, you can do all those things. Come to me. Wisdom means intellectual power and ability to apply reason, but also it implies a spiritual perception and command over divine guidance, as bestowed by the grace of Allah to make right use of knowledge in all occasions. That's the quality of a Masoom, Namaste, all the time. Because no Imam had ever seen him, they were 24/7 in connection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always. So we have to go back, all of us, little by little by little. Wisdom gives permission to understand the ocean of wisdom to those actively seek. I'm sorry this has not come out very good, but hopefully the next one will be. This is really a presentation of the word wisdom, and okay, here we go. Why do you call him Al-Hakim? After 99 names, Al-Hakim, Al-Hakim, Al-Hakim. Don't go running after the Ayatollah Google. Everybody is tied up, their cell phone, Ayatollah Google, everything Ayatollah Google, Ayatollah Google, Ayatollah Google. No, go to Quran. Quran is the word of Hakim. According to the Quran, wisdom is of greatest value for any human. I wish I get a little bit of it, because too much I cannot handle. Allah looks at the capacity of each container. We are containers. Our mental capacity, you expand, He'll give you more. You contract, you lose. It's up to you. Take whatever you want. You want to expand your mental capacity? Two things you do. Read and write. Read and write. Search. Ask me, search for me, call me. Not just when you come here. When you're walking, when you're driving, no matter, it doesn't matter. Ya Allah, help me out. And you listen. So this verse I have repeated again and again and again. I'll continue with that. This is the greatest gift for us that we can have. I'm fortunate even just to know the introduction to this. Okay, presentation of hikmah. The subject is very vast, as I said. Believe me, it's very vast when I say that. Very vast. For me, just introduction will take a long time. It has taken me months to look at every ayah of hikmah, try to understand and group them, and group them, and group them. And there is more, and there is more, and there is more. An introduction is an amazing gift to all of us. Does everybody have Ma'rifat al-Hikmah? If somebody were to ask me, do you have Ma'rifat? No, I don't. Which hikmah the Quran is talking about? I'm very wise. I know how to drive, I know how to do my dealing, banking, and all the rest of the deal. Worldly affairs, I'm very sharp. I'm supposed to be sharp. I know the mortgage payments, I know this thing, everything worldly, I'm deeply rooted into it, except what the word hikmah means here. A wise person combines knowledge with understanding and puts them to work in a particular way. It's to use what you have of knowledge. What you learn. Two people giving the same thing, different results. Wisdom is more valuable than gold. There are only 3 ladies. I hope you're listening. Well, my daughter loves gold. My wife used to love gold. I mean, it's natural. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with loving the gold. But don't love gold more than wisdom. Keep the gold and also the wisdom. Double, you're in both.
It's hard to take both.
You get both. With dunya wal akhirah. They think about today, tomorrow, but consider the long-range results of a decision made in life. Very important long-term decision. Today, I get very amused. I meet my friends in North Carolina, a big community. There's a lot of young people, my friends' kids. One of them is about, I think, 13, 14-year-old. And I said, maybe I think Askari. I said, Askari, there is occasion. What do you want to become? Oh, I mean, the way he talked, I was totally amazed, He says, what, I'm going to do high school, and then I'm going to do some college, then I'll go into business, and I'll become a millionaire. 14-year-old. He's very sharp, but what? Good millionaire. The boy thinks all it matters is as more money. Wow, like Buddha in the bank. The more you have, better car, better this, better this, better this. I have a friend from Oman, Muscat. His older brother was the first minister of health of Oman. And he is about 7, 8 years older than me. Very handsome doctor. And he's worth $100 million. Last time I spoke to my friend, that man has Alzheimer's, cannot remember anything at all. He has to be managed 24/7.
Wow.
He didn't remember. My friend was telling me, he said, my brother said, Hassan, how's your white Mercedes when you have billionaires, He said, what Mercedes? I don't have any. He said, you have it. So I don't have it. He calls his driver. He said, do I have a white Mercedes? So you have a white Mercedes. The man doesn't need it. This is how it's going to end up. Please. Allah Okay, definition. This is all dictionary. The ability to discern inner qualities and relationships. Did everybody know that? I have an inner self. Allah is talking to the inner self. Inner self. You understand. And that's what Quran says. These eyes are not blind. Eyes of the heart are blind. Eyes in the heart are blind. Allah wants you to open those eyes. Inside, good sense, judgment. This is all dictionary. Ability to reach intelligent conclusions, reliability, and on and on and on and on. This is all from Webster Dictionary. This is very authentic, right? Webster Dictionary. This is dictionary. Now let's go to a little more. Creation, general meaning of wisdom. The ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgment. It's simple. Once you have an accident, it's recorded. Are you road speeding, or you're napping, or you're on the cell? Something has to happen. Or somebody hit you. That means you learn. That means each experience, each day you have, if you connect it to Quran and Muhammad and Ahlul Bayt of Muhammad, you'll be on the right track. This is not the way, that way. Okay, so ability to use knowledge and experience, ability to discern inner qualities. Does everybody know their inner qualities? I don't. How many of you know your inner qualities? Khushu, how many? Inner qualities that Allah has put into you. I don't know. I'm being very frank. Should I know? Yes. How would I know? Look at the Quran. Look at the Muhammad and Ahlul Bayt. That's the only way my inside will wake up. It's asleep. It's dormant. Typically, they say that an average person's brain is used 5-6% maximum. and no more than that, 5, 6, 7, 8%. That means I have a room with 100 rooms, brain with 100 rooms, only 5 has light, the rest are dark. 90, 93, 94% are dark. I should put some light in that. Good sense, wise attitude, teaching of wise men. Wisdom is found in and begins with God. This is our faith. We go to Hakim. No matter how learned you are, you can stacks of books. I met many learned people. I met a neurosurgeon. A neurosurgeon. I mean, as soon as you talk about neurosurgery, you sort of say, oh my God, this guy, fixes the brains. Top of the line, neurosurgery is not a joke. And I went to a party. By the end of the party, he was lying on the couch talking to me, lamenting. He said, my wife doesn't respect me, my kids don't trust me. And people think that I can just open the head and put a new brain in there. I wish I could do it to myself. We in the human world have got various gauges. These gauges are not Islamic gauges. What Allah gave to Muhammad and Ali Muhammad will last forever. Think of it. It's right all the time. We find true wisdom on the basis of our relationship with God. Always remember that. Without Hakim, you cannot be wise. Without Hakim, you can be wise. We find true wisdom by humbly submitting to Him. When you submit, believe me, He is saying, I'll give you. If it is hunger, accept it. If it's wealth, accept it. If it's 4 wives, accept it. Oh, I don't mean seriously. I don't. This is just a statement. So, He commands, okay, let's go. General meaning, character, 4 characteristics described by Bible, Christian Bible. Now think of it, this is all general science, dictionary, Christian Bible. I haven't even come to Islam yet. Humble, wise people don't constantly brag or boast, display a prideful attitude. Oh my God. When I wear a new suit, everybody should notice it. It's one of those human weaknesses. I mean, why would you wear the finest of suit when nobody's looking at you? Never mind, I'll just wear my pajama or boxer shorts. But it is inside of our fitrah. Allah saying, know it, control it. Know it, control it. Know it, control it. It will come. Iblis will bring it to you. Number 2, good deeds. Wise people live an upright and moral life. Gentle, wise people treat others with care and respect. That's what the character of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Gentleness. With everyone. With everyone. With everyone. Number 4, consider it. Wise people put the needs of others ahead of themselves whenever possible. Do I do it? No. I'm just in a rush. I don't care if this person wants to. I just have to, push the gas and I want to just get away. Who cares where you want to go? Typically, we live in a very, very difficult times, all of us. Very difficult times. But as soon as you call on the Hakim, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim, Ya Hakim, he puts a little slower on your pedal, Slowly, slowly, slowly. Oh, he will advise you, provided you're willing to listen. Number 5, peace-loving. Wise people don't foster division. This is very important. And Muslim Ummah is divided everywhere. Whether it's Sunni, Shia, within Shia, within Sunni, within this. Give me a last one. I hear these things and they disturb me. In India, my wife's family is there. We send them money. They have what they call homeless senior. Their population is over 1 billion. There are a lot of retirees, and Muslim, non-Muslim, Muslim particularly, and so they have a lot of seniors, homeless seniors. They don't have a meal to so they have set up this big center to give them food. It's amazing to me. I look at that and I said, wow. He was telling me, this man whom I contact, he said, I go this month, and it's ironic that this Rabiul Awwal, Muslim Shia Sunnis have more celebrations. More celebration. I know that for sure. In Pakistan, everywhere. Maulud al-Nabi. They have very, very big calendar. Maulud al-Nabi, they will have it. Sirat al-Nabi and Maulud al-Nabi, well, we pay a little respect and we move on. No. No. So he was telling me, he said, where were you? I couldn't get hold of you. He says, I was in the masjid, we were doing Sirat al-Nabi. I said, Allahu Akbar. They have already started, first of Rabiul Awwal, this month of Rasulullah. They've already started. And then as they were doing, he said, we had some problem. What happened? Deobandis? Anybody heard of Deobandis? Deobandis is a faction in part of India. They're the extremists beyond the Afghanis, beyond the Abdul Wahhabism, extremist. So they want to control the Sunni mosques. So he went there, and this man comes up. He says, what are you celebrating Muhammad's birthday for? His parents were not Muslim. Can you believe people are sick? They don't have a knowledge of zero, and yet they say Rasul's parents were not Muslim. Anybody has any doubt about Rasul's parents? The whole ancestors? The whole ancestors. Quran testifies. Here are Muslims saying Rasul's parents were not Muslim.
Allah.
They're so far away, instead they work this. Okay, number 6, merciful, wise people demonstrate compassion. Please be compassionate to each other. Forgiveness and kindness to others, sincere. I'll talk about this ikhlas. I went through ikhlas all through Quran. What is the quality of ikhlas in Quran? Number 8, impartial. Wise people are fair and just. This is very important. I will always lean towards my daughter or the son or my grandchildren versus anybody else, even though it be unfair. I let go of other at that point, and that's not right. I should move back. They do not show partiality to others for their own benefit. How many can read this? Come on, somebody read this to me. Okay, say the must read this and tell me.
Based on this list, do you consider yourself to be wise?
What do you think? Tell me. To be wise, are you wise? The question is asked. You want to say something, Huda? No? Okay. You know everything. Ali will say something on your behalf. Do you consider yourself wise? Anybody? I don't. I'm very frank. I'm not wise in the words of Quran. I may be street smart. I'm not wise, according to Quran. And that's why this is asking this question. That knowing this list, do you think you're wise? I'm not. I don't know about anybody else here. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Youth. Now, everybody here is youth. You know why? Because Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, when you don't know something, you are a youth. Always remember that. I don't know Farsi. I don't know Chinese. So if I have to learn that, I have to go to preschool, grade 1. Youth is when you don't know anything, you have to begin learning. Youth is in the age, yes. But youth in learning is very different. When you don't know something, you are a youth. Very simple. And this is the, shall I go on? I think everybody is falling asleep now.
No.
Give me a last salawat then. Okay, knowledge or learning gained over time. Please take this for your children, all of you, and for yourself. I remind myself. Good sense. How do you define good sense? Anybody? You cannot. I will do so many things that are against the principles of Islam, thinking that, well, I'm a Muslim, I can talk a few ayahs and I can do this, I can do this. That big picture inside has to change. And it's very important. Good sense. And there's a gap, a communication gap between parents today and the children. It's very difficult today. Parents always say, why can't my children understand that? And children saying, you're in the old age. You're in the old age. I relate, I have 4 grandchildren. I talk to them as though I want to learn from them. And I mean it. There is some quality, masoom, they're young. There's something in them that I can spark me in there. It is important that we develop this communication system. 3, a wise attitude, believe, a course of action. These are the youth. Take it for your children. Wisdom is also defined as the understanding of the deep nature of reality and people. Where is the reality? All of us here, if you have to search for reality, where would you search? Anyone? How about you? Where would you search for reality? For yourself?
Quran.
Quran and where? Okay, so
Hazari?
no, I'm not going either. Inside you. You change the inside, Allah said, I'll change it also. And that's the way you struggle. Because inside said, oh, you already know so much. The inside is where you wasfisu fi sudurin nas. Iblis. There are 2. One is the angel, one is Iblis inside your heart. And we tend to go more to the left than to the right. Because he's very strong, very clever. Extremely clever. Very, very clever. Okay, so practical wisdom is associated with making good decisions or doing the right thing. We are not living in their world. Okay? My granddaughter tells me, Jaddo, I know what I'm doing. And you know what? Whatever it is, I still have to respect that. Because she is American, brought up in the system, grew up in the school, knows the career, knows everything, yet they need help. But you have to keep the door open. You keep the door open, they'll walk one day or the other. If you force them, they'll shut the door on you. They will shut the door on you. Believe me, they're very clever. Young people are extremely clever. They can read you, all of us. We cannot understand them. We say, why don't they understand? And you know what they say? Why can't my dad understand? Why can't my mom understand? Okay. Take these 3 things. Practical wisdom is doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason. This is simplest and right thing at the right time for the right reason. That's simple. And that's what Allah gave to whom? To Luqman. I gave you this. And you read the whole story, inshallah, in future when I get a chance, continue on the hikmah from the Quran, the stories from Quran, I'll be able to relate this whole story. Beautiful story, beautiful lesson drawn from him and his son. Why did Allah say, I gave Luqman hikmah? There's something for us to learn. But you know what? We don't care about Luqman and Isa and Musa. And we just call, Ali and Hassan and Hussein and we just go. No. Okay, the last one. Salatullah Muhammad. Okay, I know you're tired, you're hungry. Islam's doctrine will be in the next part, hikmah. There'll be 3 parts to it. 1, the meaning by the Quran, verses of the Quran. Every word uses the hikmah. It's a beautiful, we are so fortunate to have that treasure in our houses and sitting there on the shelves. Then you have these meaning from Rasulullah, the practicality of it, how to put it into practice. And then you have other prominent Muslims that have done this thing for us. Now, I'm going to finish here. I'd like to ask all of you to please, if you have any questions on the presentation, ask me. I'm going to suggest this to Abbas and Abu Ali and Hassan. I'm giving him this whole presentation, and I suggested that he should put it on the website, accessible to everybody. Okay? So instead of getting individual copies of it, which will be available with, somebody here, but more important, it's going to be posted so that you can access it at your leisure. Whenever you want to go to it, you can go to it, read it, benefit from it, and pray for all of us. Okay, now this is the last slide. Greatest divine asset and emphasizes youth and hikmah. Khairan kathira, how can you describe this word when Allah is saying, please, words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wisdom is boundless thing that is invaluable and that reminds us in the Quran. Wisdom is the reception of what? Can anybody tell me? Ali, don't look at Google. He's looking at Google. Look at that. First thing I ask question, he goes to Google. See how it works? That's second brain. Truth. Muhammad is haq, Ali is haq, Hassan is haq, Hussein is haq, Islam is haq, Namaskari is haq. Or we have to search that out. That's wisdom. And then what? Basira. I have haq, but I don't have the basira. My inside tube light is gone. I have to buy a new bulb. Go to Office Depot or Home Depot. Right, they don't have this kind of bulb. They have you. That's why we cannot help you.
Costco cheaper.
Huh?
Costco cheaper.
There you go. Okay. And lastly, I keep saying lastly, okay, this really is the last. Wisdom is a hidden power of thinking and logic. It's free gift to you. It discovers unknown realities from the known ones. Take these words, they are gems. Wisdom makes logical rules using plausible reasoning by induction and deduction. Those are the two scientific, you induce or deduce. Wisdom then reaches useful conclusions and results based on these logical rules. Quran has put a great amount of emphasis on applying wisdom in all matters. Don't consider it's too small or too big. No, 24/7, you live under Hakim. Okay, there are 8 points to look at. Here we go. Number 1, take this from here. Gaining the knowledge about God is wisdom. Life after that, thinking about life after that is wisdom. Interpreting history. I'm going more and more and more into history. And I love it, because there are wise people. Luqman the wise, then Zulkarnain. You read the story of Zulkarnain. Musa and his teacher. They're full of wisdom. Relationships, knowing good and evil, justice and injustice, freedom and oppression, nature of this world, moral and immoral, and then lastly, and the purpose of this life. Please, purpose of this life is to seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Search for Him, search for Him, search for Him. Be relentless. And that's your key. Because closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will determine your next life. And that's why wisdom is known as Hujjat. And that's why Allah's word, why would Allah give us aql? We can be as a tree or animals or birds. We need aql. Did I use it properly? No. Would I like to use it properly? Yes. I should raise the word. And that's the hujjah. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. Maybe we can talk about it later on. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم اللهم انا نسالك بحق محمد وعلى محمد وعليك صل على محمد وعلى محمد واجعله النور في بصري بصيرة في ديني واليقين في قلبي والاخلاص في عملي والسلامة في نفسي والسعة في رزقي والشكر لك اللهم اعطيتني السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.